Good morning, ladies. I'm so happy you came back to join me today. My name is Christy Waite, and I am from Hudsonville, Michigan. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 11 years now, and I am trying to earn the incentive trip to Maui. So I would be extremely honored if you would hop on over to my blog spot. Everything you need to know is there. All the links to signing up to be a demonstrator, to purchasing, and this is my hostess code for September of 2019. Now I've only got through the end of September, and I've never been as close as I am today, but it is still way beyond trying to reach it on my own. So perhaps you were joining in and saw my blog on Monday where I showed you this darling little gift card holder. Now here is the inside, like that. So I mentioned on that blog that I was going to do a new one and show you a video. So I want to say that I was inspired. See if I can find her name. Oh, it's on my blog on Monday. I'm so sorry. I was inspired by, I believe, Lori Heiling from Arizona on this card. And it uses some retired product, which is the Smitten Mittens. And I'm just going to tell you that I have been continuing to use my Smitten Mittens because it's absolutely adorable. But I cannot tell you how many times when I use it, people will say, oh, I wish I could get that stamp set, or I wish I could get those dies. So I want to encourage you, don't wait. Get your stuff now before it's too late. But the holiday catalog just went live, so I hope you'll pick out your favorites from there. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this same gift card holder, but we're going to use some of our new product. So I'm going to show you what you're going to need. You're going to need a piece of real red cardstock that measures 11 by 4 1/4, and then I scored it. I'll turn it this way. I scored it at 2 1/4 and 5 1/2. So we'll fold those in. Fold in, and this one also folds in. So we have this. You're also going to need a piece of Whisper White that measures 5 1/4 by 4. That's for the inside of your card. You're going to need some designer paper. You're going to need 2 pieces. They both measure 4 inches long, and then one is 3 inches and one is 2 inches. That's what you're going to need for that, and that's really simple. Let me show you that designer paper. I'll grab it here. And the name of that designer paper is called Let It Snow. Now it's called a specialty paper because I'm going to bring this right up here. Can you see how those, right on the trees, it glistens on that sheet? And then you've got this one with all the little hats. Those also have some shiny pieces there. This one here with these adorable snowmen. All these snowmen are like dazzling diamonds. So cute. This sheet has just a variety of little, there's no glistening on this one. This is another one with snowmen that has the very glistening snowmen. And this one here is full of mittens. Now when we turn them over, these are the designs you get. A little close. Okay, so we've got stripes. And this is the pattern we're using today, snowflakes. Some more stripes. I love this one. I think that's so cool. And then we got one in red and some more stripes. So let me show you that the colors that coordinate with the Let It Snow specialty paper are Basic Black, Blueberry Bushel, Coastal Cabana, Flirty Flamingo, Real Red, Shaded Spruce, and Whisper White. So let me show you the finished product. This was the first one that I made. Cute little snowman. And it goes with, this is the stamp set that we're using today, Snowman Season. Aren't those cute? And then it comes bundled. You know what a bundle is? If you buy the stamp set and the dies, or the stamp set and the punch, or whatever they've bundled it together with, then you get 10% off. So they are bundling the Snowman Season with the Snowman Builder Punch. The hat, the nose, the snowman, and 2 arms. So we're going to be using that. So I'm going to show you some tips along the way. Number 1, I'm going to pull out the little template that I made. All I did was I took my punch, I slid it in here, and I punched it out. So now that is my pattern. And then now I need my paper. Here we go. This is a piece of Whisper White. I'm actually using the Whisper White thick paper. And what I did, here's my stamp. So what I did is I took my stamps, I laid them into the template like that, and then picked it up with my block. Now I'm not going to do that again because it can be a little fussy, and yet it wasn't that hard either. But I didn't want to do it on video. Now, when I ink this up with my Memento Black, and I'm using a photopolymer stamp set. That means I can see completely through it. I want to make sure I grab my Stampin' Pierce mat. And we're going to stamp the whole thing right here. There we go. And because I lined that up, all I have to do is go in with my punch. I'm going to punch out every piece of these, and it's all going to line up. And that is a time saver, especially if you're stamping in multiples. Now I got to find all the pieces that jumped out. There we go. We got some arms. We've got a snowman. We've got the hat. There. He's just a cute little guy, isn't he? So another thing I was going to show you is on the paper. Let's see if I can find that sheet. Sure enough. This sheet here. See all these cute little hats? This hat, you can either fussy cut, or you can punch that out with the Snowman Builder Punch. That matches up perfectly. And I'll show you what that looks like. Just like that. So I think we're going to use that one today. On the first card, I used the stamped image, and I colored it in. I colored it in with the basic black light. The green is Shaded Spruce, dark. And then for the berries, holly berries, I used the Cherry Cobbler dark. And then on the band of his hat, I used the Cherry Cobbler light. So let's get started on that. So I won't be doing that coloring, but I do need to color in his nose. My favorite color for carrot noses is my pumpkin pie. And I am using the dark blend. Okay, I'm going to set my little snowman aside. And we're going to do some extra stamping. Plus, I'm going to show you a new product. This is called Snowfall Accents Puff Paint. Now, if I'm not mistaken, before I started with Stampin' Up, they had some puff paint, which was really cool, I am told. I have purchased puff paint from the store, but now Stampin' Up has it again, and I'm so excited. That's so great. Okay, so what it says, make sure you shake well before you use it each time. All right, so I think I've shaked it enough. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to draw a little line down there. Can you see that? Maybe I'll do a little heavier over here. It's pretty liquidy. I was surprised how liquidy it was because the stuff that I had bought online was more pasty, but I'm kind of liking this. Sorry for the noise, but I got to pull in my heat tool, and then we're gonna watch it come to life. Now, I'm sorry, but it is gonna take just a little bit. I want you to be able to see it puff up. I dripped some down, but that won't matter. You see it? See it starting to puff up? Almost done. This is going to give us our snow, our base of snow for our snowman to sit on. Here we go. See that? Set that aside. Clean that up. All right. And so now we have our snow. I'm going to tell you to do this step first. If you do it after your card is put together, I actually forgot to put the puff paint on my very first card first. So I did it after it was all connected. One thing, when you heat your paper after you already have adhesive on it, what it does is it releases the adhesive. And so I had some buckling going on, and I had to go back in and I had to add some Tombow glue. In fact, the little stick arms I had on with glue dots, and it actually released that glue dot, and I had to reattach it. So do this step first. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and stamp. We are going to take, okay, let me show you it again. This is my first one, and this is my second one, side by side. I didn't think that the black was bright enough for me, so I thought I would do it with the heat tool. So we're going to take our Versamark ink, and our Let It Snow stamp, and then we have some black embossing powder. I'm going to set that aside because I got one more piece to do. This is our piece of Whisper White for the inside of the card, and that measures 5 1/4 by 4. And we're going to come in with the Merry Christmas. Now I'm going to show you something else about the Merry Christmas. This is the stamp set. It says Merry Christmas. Now, do you see the difference on my card? I got the Merry up here and the Christmas down here. So what I did is I went in with my snips and I cut them apart. Now, some people might say, I can't do that. But you can, and I will show you that later as I go on. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Come back in with the black embossing powder. There we go. And let me heat those up quick a minute. This takes just a little bit. There we go. It's starting to get shiny. Can you see the shininess? There we go. And the warmer your heat tool is when you start embossing, the quicker it goes. So if I was doing like a dozen of these cards, they would go really, really fast. And you saw how that even the Let It Snow went faster than the Merry Christmas. And it even went faster because I had it on for the puff paint, so that worked out perfectly. Let me set this aside, and we are going to attach this to our card. Get out my snail. And because I heat embossed, I always do all 4 sides. Once again, that helps with the whole buckling issue. You see what I'm doing? Let me bring that up a little bit. All right. And then to let it snow, the front piece, all 4 sides. And that is going to go on this side, right here. That's the one that measured, oh, I think that probably wasn't quite dry. Oh, well. Now we are going to use the 2-inch piece, 2x4, and that's going to go on this section right here. Okay, now if you want a fancier edge for your opening, like this one here, I used, some other label die. Can't remember, punch, it was a punch. Can't remember what it's called off the top of my head right now. But for today, I am using my 2-inch circle punch. What you're gonna do is you're gonna come in and punch right about halfway. Okay, see this little piece? Do not throw that away. Do not throw that away. We're gonna use that later. Now, to seal this, I pulled in my tear-in tape and attached right to the edges. Could be a little closer, but that will work. Here we go, and seal it. So there's that. Let's pull out our Coastal Cabana ink. And we're going to stamp some snowflakes. I'm going to stamp some right here. And again over here. So that part is done. Use my bone folder to make sure my edges, my folds are creased good. And I can see that I did not get that puff paint dry enough to start. So make sure you dry it well. I will show you this one right here. See how puffy that is right there? And I think I was just a little too anxious, and I didn't puff it up good enough. But learn from my mistake. I'm not gonna change it right now. So now we're gonna attach our snowman with some dimensionals. Before I put it on the card, I'm going to grab my glue dots and attach his little arms. And decide the angle I want. And another glue dot for this arm. He just looks so happy to see us. And we're going to put it on the snow right there. Okay, so let's go back. Card number 1, I used the stamped image hat. This one right there. Card number 2, I cut out one of the little beanie hats from that cardstock. And you got such a variety of colors in there, from Coastal Cabana, Real Red, the Blueberry Bushel. but I wanted the red. I thought it matched well with the card front, so I put that on there. Card number 2. Card number 3, we're gonna go ahead and use the little hat that I punched out from the designer paper. And I only really need like a half of a dimensional. I could use a mini dimensional as well. And we're going to attach his hat just like that. Isn't that cute? Wouldn't somebody just love to get a gift card holder like this? I sell so many of them at Christmas time. And I'm sure there's ways that you can doll it up just a little bit more, put your spin on it, maybe add some puff paint to the snowman. I just haven't done all that yet, but I wanted to show you what I did. I call these happy accidents. So remember I said this piece here, don't throw it away. So I thought it looked like a little hat. So I decided to build a snowman. I pulled out my layering circles, framelits, and I think we're calling everything dies now, just to be clear. So I started with, this is how the layering circles comes. It comes with circles and then the scallops that match. We're just using the plain circles. I used number 1, 2, and 3 for my snowman. What I did then is I punched out this hat right here. I took a smaller circle punch. Oh, no, I didn't either take a smaller circle punch. I actually used the die from here because I wanted it to match the head. So it went in and I cut that out with my Big Shot and attached it. This little puffy ball, that's just something that you can get at your craft store. The arms that I used are from my seasonal layers Thinlits. That is the one that coordinates with your colorful seasons. These are the dies, and this is the branch that comes with it. So I cut that out, and those are his arms. Then, do you ever cut things out and you think, man, all those little pieces? So this is a die from the To a Wild Rose stamp set. I'll show you the stamp set. The stamp set is To a Wild Rose. We've used it before. But in that stamp set, or with the bundle, I should say, you get the dies that will cut out some of the stamped images, but you also get some bonus dies. This one here is a bonus die. This one here is a bonus die. And then this one here is a bonus die. And I was cutting that out for another card that we are making at our Stamp-A-Stat class. And I saw all these little diamonds. Can you see the little diamond shapes? 1, 2, lots of little diamond shapes here. This is what it looks like when it's all cut out. Can you see that on my hand? Maybe see better with the white behind it. Do you see all those little diamonds? Like right here and right here? Well, that's his buttons. I made diamond-shaped buttons. The little circles come from the center of the flowers. And then the eyes are from, oh yes, there we go. It's that little circle right there from my Delightful Day Tag Topper Punch. That was perfect for his eyes. Because we used to have like the Owl Builder and all those that gave us these cool circles and to use. So the oval is in Fleur de Flamingo. And we used the scallop oval number 7, the largest one that they have in scalloped ovals. So the layering circles came with regular circles and then scallop circles. The ovals are the same thing, regular ovals, and then you got the scallop ovals. So I did that. This is where I told you that I had cut my Merry Christmas apart. And I cut it apart. I used it cut apart first. But then when I wanted this one, all I had to do is position it on another block. And it fit perfectly because I didn't trim any of that off. And I can still use it as long, but it gives me dual use for that. So there's the arms. The nose, I cut just a little triangle piece from some pumpkin pie. Now my colors are Shaded Spruce, Whisper White, and then I did, can you see that? I did use the Subtle Embossing Folder, the designer paper from Let It Snow, designer paper series. And that one measures 3.5 by 4 3/4. The white is 4 by 5 1/4. And this Merry Christmas banner, I stamped it in red, and it is 3/4 of an inch wide. So that's that. Well, when I was making these cards, I had one more of the circle that looked like a little beanie hat left. And I know I had it sitting right here. Oh, here it is. I had 2 of these because you see I had 2 gift card holders already made. So that one was sitting there, and I'm like, well, I think I would like to use that one too, but I wanted to do something different. So I am a scrapbooker. I'm not an avid scrapbooker, but I do enjoy it, and I like to make fun layouts. So what I did, you see, I made a larger snowman, and I didn't have to trim this down at all. So on the card, we used circles number 1, 2, and 3. On the scrapbook page, we used number 4, 5, and 6. Now the skinny little arms were a little too skinny for my bigger snowman. So I did pull out some retired product, and this is our Tree Builder Punch. Do you remember that? That used to be part of our Ronald McDonald bundle series for donating money to the Ronald McDonald House. So I used the tree branch, and I cut off one limb, and those are his arms right there. And then I also pulled out my, oh, I think I put it away already, my Owl Builder Punch. And that gave me my eyes and my buttons. And I tell you what, these snowmen really come to life when you add a little bit of white gel to their eyes. Again, I used just a triangular snip of pumpkin pie, and I just drew in his mouth. I used a strip 12 inches by 3 inches for the side. And then for the snow, boy, I feel like I'm just so close. For the snow, I just tore a piece of Whisper White paper. Now this is hidden under here, so you wouldn't have to use a 12-inch piece. But I had a 12-inch piece that came with my scrapbooking pages, so I just used that. I tore it in 2 different lengths or widths, and then I sponged it with some Coastal Cabana. Now, can you see the snowman? I also sponged the edge of each circle with some Coastal Cabana. I did that on this one here. Doesn't quite show up. I figured everything looks better when it's sparkly and there's sparkles in the paper, so I did spritz the oval and the snowman with my champagne shimmer. I did not spritz anything on here because of adding photos. So I just put a couple pieces of Coastal Cabana here just to show where I would put the pictures. Stamped a few snowflakes up here, one down here, and then added the Let It Snow down here. So these were like bonus projects from when I made this card, this gift card. I just love it. So that was card number 1. Card number 2. Oh, this is actually card number 3. Card number 2, I embossed, and then I added the little beanie hat And card number 3, I also embossed because I just like it the brighter black. And then I added the little hat from the designer paper. So I hope you enjoy that. I gave you all the dimensions, but I also have all the instructions on my blog. I hope you'll visit that, and I would love it if you would make a gift card holder and then send me a picture. I would love to see what you do with that. So wonderful to have you with me today. Have a great day, and I hope you'll come back again soon. Bye-bye.